we are back and we are live once again. And man, when I say we are back, we are back. We've got some very interesting news going on. New bag of tricks, some new friends, some new things up the sleeve, and some new content and information. Can't beat that, right? It's always good to have that. And I think with everything going on, how are we going to continue with this? Who knows? But in fact, you are here. Thank you for tuning in. You are listening to Beyond Sight and Sound, metal detecting and treasure hunting radio for you. Radio by hunters, for hunters, from hunters. And speaking of hunters, I saw him around here. Where did the certifiable hardcore co-host go? You out there, Kenny?
I'm out here, man. I'm hanging right over here,
awesome.
Making sure I got everything intact here. I'm looking forward to this show. I've been out toying with this dais, working on different programs with it, and getting ready to change locations in this great country we live in for a little while.
Oh, fixing to head to Missouri.
It's countdown time.
Yes. Time to sling some dirt, dig it all, leave 'em nothing.
You know, it's like this, brother. My wife gets to see her mother. I will have that posted at her bedside. I am going to kind of slip on out of there while they visit, and I am going to be slinging Missouri soil. So
there you go.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And let's see here. It looks like we're already, good grief. The chat is hopping already.
That is dedicated listeners, brothers and sisters of Beyond Sight and Sound. We love all of you. We appreciate all of you. And it's going to be a great show. Man, we are blessed to have the listeners that we do. And everybody says, oh, you know, a Dirt Bandit's kind of hardcore or a little certifiable. Well, so is our listeners. All you guys are hardcore, man. You are here every Wednesday night ready to roll.
That's right. And really, it is appreciated. And when we have that listener support like that, it enables us to be fortunate enough to do things like we've got going on tonight. And I suppose I should mention, people I'm sure have already seen the posts in places. If you haven't, I'd really love to know what rock you've been hiding under. 'Cause I want to get the detector and go hunt.
It'd have to be a big rock.
Yeah, exactly. But for those who hadn't seen the posts, make sure to thank your friends for letting you know to tune in tonight. A very big shout out right off the bat to Treasure Hunters Supply.
Indeed.
You can find them on Facebook. You can go over to the Beyond Sight and Sound domain and find a banner there for them. And while you're over on the Beyond Sight and Sound domain, you can even check out metal detecting places. You can check out hardcore relic recovery. There's videos, there's some stuff like that going on. And get yourself registered. It's free to register on the domain. And when we broke the news the other day, it broke first for the registered members of the domain. It broke hours later on Facebook. But tonight, in fact, we will be giving away a Minelab Go Find 40.
Yeehaw. And let me tell you something. That, there's 3 of those, I believe. There's a 20, the 40, the 60.
Yes.
And, real quick, 3 fine modes, 10-inch waterproof coil, 4 sensitivity levels, 5 volume levels, 5 treasure view LEDs, backlight, pinpoint, Bluetooth, standard Go Find app. It only weighs 2.3 pounds, man. And
wow,
it's a
somebody's
giveaway.
been doing their homework.
Hey, man, if it's a machine and it goes beep, I've got to read about it.
That's right. That's right. And folds up to about, 22 inches, I believe?
Yeah, it does. And you know what? I'm wondering, the machines that are coming out now are very, let's just say, becoming very user-friendly in the fact that, especially for us guys that, let's say, don't hunt on exactly flat ground for the most part, like myself, but whenever you can fold one up, throw it in your backpack, and that gives you room. Like me, that's not enough. I have to carry something else and make it more difficult since I have room.
Yeah, like maybe a cannonball.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, 12 pounder at that. But, yeah, this machine, man, I mean, it's, now this may sound funny. It's really not a lightweight. It brings a punch. So, I'm a lucky listener.
That's
right.
right.
Have a good time.
That's right. And we have been talking in the recent weeks about the Garrett carrots.
Got mine.
That's right. You've got yours. Some people, I have heard, maybe this issue has been alleviated. Some people have had some issues trying to get a hold of them. I do know that Treasure Hunter Supply just got a fresh shipment of them in yesterday.
You know what, Josh? There's some people out there, I think I would be pulling up that website.
That's right.
Get them while they got them.
That's right. Give them a call. Let them know you heard about it here. Talk to Joe, talk to Tom, and get your carrot while you can.
That's right, man.
And if the listeners happen to flood them and buy them out, I'm pretty sure that Charles Stafford probably can get some.
Absolutely, Mr. Charles Stafford down here in the Southern Hemisphere with csrelics.com. He will take care of what you need. Yeah, just go to his website. He'll fix you up. Very nice guy. And if he doesn't have it, he will get it.
And special little tidbit here. Say you can't find them. I also made sure to speak with Evan Granger from Big Boys Hobbies today, and he assures me that they have plenty in stock, ready to ship. If you call Big Boys Hobbies, make sure that you specifically ask for Evan Granger. And who knows, you may want to mention that you heard about it on Beyond Sight and Sound. Just throwing it out there. A little something to think about, folks.
Absolutely.
But speaking of the good folks out there in the live chat and tuning in to listen to us, they're not just tuning in for us, they're tuning in for many things tonight. And when you talk about good people, we've got a good guest tonight.
Absolutely.
Man, I'll tell you what, does some great videos, a great guy to talk to, very passionate about the hobby, and we should probably get him in here too, because we've got a lot of stuff going on tonight that we're going to have to try and squeeze into the show here. So
bring him in, man.
Without further delay, ladies and gentlemen, the guest tonight, Frank Partica, A.K.A. Diggin Freedom from YouTube, also recently known as the Cyborg. How's it going, Frank?
Hey, how you doing, Josh? Pleasure to be here. Hi, Kenny. Pleasure to be here.
Man, glad to have you on the show, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. We certainly appreciate you taking the time to sit down and talk shop with all of us.
Well, when I watch your guys' videos, it's just like watching friends, so why not?
Right. When you follow these various YouTube channels, you do start to gain a sense of knowing these people. Whether you've met them or talked to them or not, you you feel a connection there. You tend to know their personalities, their hunting styles and habits, their ethics, their guidelines and conduct when they're hunting, and all of that stuff.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah, including their quest. You tend to learn, what they're after, kind of why they're after it. And
right.
For the most part, just pulling the history out and trying to let everybody know why it's there, when it was there, to the best of your knowledge, and why it's important to retrieve it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get rolling with this, folks, if anybody's got any questions or comments for Frank, that's 419-549-5744. Write that down. Put it in your phone.
I would put that on speed dial if I was a listener.
I think I would tonight, too, yes. That might be a very wise thing to do.
Just a little something to throw out there. Speed dial.
419-549-5744. And if you missed it, you didn't get the chance to write it down, it is at the top of the show page. It's in the promos. You can find it.
Yes, indeed.
So, Frank, why don't we start off with maybe giving the listeners an inside look into digging freedom? How did Frank get started in the hobby? Because I think this is, this was a good thing. And ultimately, it wound up changing your perspective of things, too.
Yes, it did. A few years back, I had a severe back injury. So severe that I had to have back fusion surgery. So when you're going through surgery and you're trying to recover, there's not much you can do, and I was pretty much incapable of moving at that point. So what do? You watch TV. And, when you're tired of TV, you get on the computer and watch whatever's on the computer. So I just started watching videos, and I just happened across, believe it or not, everyone says his name, but Deep Digger Dan, because he's just so popular. And he made me laugh. The guy made me laugh, and I thought it was kind of funny, and I watched a couple more of his videos, got more interested now in what he's looking for, because he was just beginning, and you saw kind of a progression of how he became a better detectorist. So I gravitated towards other channels. I wanted to see what else was out there, and happened across people like Mr. Dirt Bandit here, and Tar Heel Diggin, and NC Digger, and Delaware Digger, and the list goes on and on. And
right, good channels.
Yes, wonderful channels. And I was captivated. I really was, on all the things these people who are from all different parts of the country, the things they're finding, they're recovering, the passion they all had, and I thought, this is something I would really like to do. Well, at the time I was laid up and I was healing. I couldn't walk. I had to walk with a walker. It took me about 3 months to get off the walker and go to a cane, and another 3-4 months to get off the cane where I could just walk normally. But even then, I couldn't lift. I couldn't bend. I was on complete restrictions. And I made it a point that it would be a really good idea for my rehab to get my own metal detector, because it's going to force me to walk. It's going to force me to carry stuff. It's going to force me to bend, force me to dig holes. And in a way, it was my own way to get better. And believe it or not, I surpassed the the doctor's predictions that I just healed probably about 4 months earlier than they suspected I would.
And that is great.
And that's how it all started.
Well, that's an interesting story there, being since after I get done with my ginseng, September, October, November, part of December, if the frost don't hit first, I've actually been told that I need to get in and have the A-lip surgery, where they go in from the front. But enough of that. I'm not looking forward to that. But it looks like you healed quite well. I guess, did you just go pick up a camera? Did you research a camera? Because I know you started one, and you're like, man, I watch videos. I'd kind of like to share mine as well. Well, what am I going to use, and where am I going to find it?
Well, before I bought my metal detector, the first thing I wanted to do was research what kind of metal detectorist do I want to be? What do I want to do?
Right.
And I live around a chain of lakes, so I definitely wanted one that I could use in the water. I wanted something that was definitely going to be all-terrain, and it just, to me, I gravitated more towards the AT Pro, and it was a toss-up between a Minelab, a Whites, and the AT Pro, and I just gravitated more towards the AT Pro because it seemed to me the most economical and easier to use for someone who has never metal detected before, you know.
Well, it was a great choice. I mean, and for the money, that machine is highly intelligent. You know, for the money, that was my route as well. And the big thing with me, with that machine, is all terrain was the key, because rain, whatever, I'm hunting. Right.
And you know, again, it was part of my rehab. I didn't want any limitations. So part of my rehab in the summer was getting in the water and hunting sandbars. So, you know, that's a workout. Trying to swing, you know, when you know your balance isn't that good on sand and muck and whatever, it was a workout.
Right.
So I didn't want to invest too deeply in cameras. I believe it or not, all I use is my iPhone for all my videos right now.
Which is doing well for you.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It really is. I see people that buy all this gear, and believe it or not, I mean, I laugh at what I do. I just have a chip clip, and that's all I use to clip it on my computer, and that's how I do my videos. It's funny.
As long as it works.
And, you know, and I guess that's the point. The point is you don't have to invest in a whole bunch of different things. If you want to, that's your prerogative. But for me, I'm not trying to be a rock star. I'm not trying to have a theater, or a movie that, has all these different things. I just want to show people me and, my story, my message. And, if people enjoy it, they're going to follow. I think if people like you, you don't have to have all those bells and whistles. I think they want to see people that don't have all those bells and whistles. So, I think I'll keep using the phone until it dies, and then maybe
and I think a lot of times too is the fact that sometimes when you're still yourself, you're more down to earth, you're not trying to be something you're not,
right?
And for a lot of people, that's easier to identify with when they're watching the videos.
I can tell you this: when I was watching the videos, those are the channels I watched the most. I liked people that were real, I just see
certifiable.
Yeah, even if they're a little certifiable. But I like I said earlier, I was watching dirt band videos, and And he was really, really inspiring to me. When I saw his passion for what he was finding and the history behind it, I knew that's how I wanted to metal detect. And I wanted that same passion. I wanted to have that same passion for what I found.
And I would say that right there is probably a massive compliment and accomplishment, because for like Kenny, I mean, you know you're doing it right when you're hearing feedback like that.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I really do. And it's, you know, it's, and you know what I mean? We don't do it for, I mean, it's good to get the feedback, but I love digging the history. I like to bring people with me for the adventure, but I try to make sure that I have, to the best of my knowledge, the correct info about what I'm doing, so I can share. It's like a little ride you take. You know, you wanna go to these places and with permission, of course. You know, you want to carry your sack of ethics with you, and you want to spread that, because in my videos, an 8-year-old can watch them, or an 80-year-old can watch them. And so I just, you know, I try to just be informative about the history, but it's about the history. It's what it's about, and preserving it. It bothers me to know there's stuff in there that's just withering away, that's got a story to tell.
Right, exactly. And another person that, you know, I'm very, very good friends with, I'm very close with now, Tom Williams, you know, NC Digger.
NC Digger.
And I'll tell you, I saw a video of his where he, you know, he doesn't, I don't think he even realized, I've never really told him about it. He'll hear it probably now, but, he did this video where he went to some guy's house, he got permission, an older guy, and the guy's following him around and helping him dig, and he found his brother's high school class ring. And and the guy was so impressed and just so happy. And you know, you saw joy in Tom's face that he knew he could return it back to the family.
Right.
And that's where I started really thinking about, okay, what kind of metal detectorist do I want to be? Do I want to be, you know, a guy that just looks for coins? Do I want to be a guy that looks for relics? Or just, you know, do I want to just go on beaches? What do I really want to get out of this? Knowing I didn't really invest that much, I only invested in the machine itself. But after I saw that one video, I knew right then and there that, you know, that's got to be a...
That's the kind of guy I want to be.
Right.
0890, you're live on Beyond Sight and Sound. Who do we have? Hello, caller.
This is Justin.
What was that?
This is Justin.
Justin, how's it going?
Yes, sir. It's going good.
Good.
Welcome to the show, Justin.
Thank you, sir.
Do you have a comment or question for Frankie?
No, just it's the first time I've been able to get on, and just interested in listening to stories and seeing what everybody's got to say and learning a little bit.
Well, there's one thing I can tell you, Justin. Everyone starts where everyone else starts, if that makes sense to you.
Right, we
Kenny
all
started
start somewhere.
Right. Kenny started not knowing how to do it. Josh started not knowing how to do it. All of us started not, I mean, I really didn't know how to do it. So my advice is don't be intimidated by some of these videos, and some of them can be, because you'll look at them and go, I'll never be able to find stuff like that or whatever. You just got to keep practicing.
You know, and that's a great point. Don't ever think, oh, I'll never find. The whole point is to find, but in order to find, you got to get out there and look.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And research, man. Research, get out there, and wherever you're at, wherever you're digging, there's a book, there's a website, there's somebody that knows a little bit about it.
Right. Maybe the elders, maybe local hunters.
And that's
Right,
another
right.
thing, is we need to get the veterans more involved. A lot of the guys that, you know, there's veterans here that just don't hunt anymore simply because either health reasons or whatever, but the knowledge that they contain is worth a lot to the up and coming digger. And most of the time they vicariously, you know, want to hear, you know, that's how they hunt anymore, is through us, and they'll share. But there's a lot of veterans out there. If you can get into a relic club or because a lot of the veterans still go to those, or anywhere, and just sit down for an hour or so and have a talk with one of these gentlemen, you'll be amazed at what you can learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Miss Lou Relic crew, and those guys are full
All
of knowledge.
right.
Well, so
Shout
am I,
out
man.
to Miss Lou.
Mr.
Yeah,
John
those
DeVille,
guys
I'm
are
sure
full
he's
of it.
listening. Yes. Matter of fact, Justin, was you at, I don't know if I met you, was you at the Vicksburg hunt with us?
No, I haven't been able to make a hunt yet. I work offshore, and it hadn't hit me quite right yet to where I can make a trip, but I plan on it.
Right. Yeah, listen, man, it was a blast. You know, I got to meet John and, of course, Chris Single and Diggin Deep South and the Twin Diggers and everybody down there. We had a
Kevin
great time.
Hume.
L.A. Relic Hunter. We had a good time.
Oh yeah, they're a great bunch of guys, and they post a lot of awesome finds.
Yep. Sure do.
Awesome. That is great. So we know we've got some Miss Lou members out there listening to us.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the call, Justin. Always appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Y'all have
All
a good
right.
night.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Take care, Justin.
All right, got a member of the crew calling in. I'm sure John's listening right now. Hope Kevin's listening. I hadn't seen him post or nothing, but Kevin, if you're out there, give us a shout, man. We ain't heard from you in a while. That would be KS Hollywood on YouTube. You can check him out. LA Gold, check him out. Just different ones down there. And I have a privilege to be in that crew and hunt with them guys. And Chris Single, just a great friend of mine, just a brother of the hobby. And it is really neat when, like the listeners on here, there's so many on this chat right now that, man, I would just love to get with and sling some dirt.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm telling you what, the chat is just jumping.
Yeah, we got Hayden, and Hayden's in here. Of course, Ringfinder's with us. Denny, thank you very much for the display of relics that was included in the fundraiser there. Thank you very much for that, buddy. We got Doodaddy in here. Of course, Wild Relic Hunter, the Swans. I call him the Swans. And we got Bob D in here. And I know I saw Super Drew a while ago. I know he's in here. Let me just go right up through here. Kalamazoo Justin.
Awesome.
Galen Long.
And also, we've got a couple of special callers here. We've actually had Mr. Howard Hewitt drop into the show. How's it going, Howard?
Howard.
Hello. I'm
How
doing
you
just
doing?
fine.
That is
That's
awesome,
great
man.
to hear, buddy.
Man.
Listen, I just wanted to just chime in, and I just want to send in best regards to Frank and all of his efforts and all of his work. I've been listening all along.
Well, thank you, sir. That's humbling. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're both on the same page. I myself, I am technologically challenged and have been all along. I had just been getting onto Facebook in just a little over a year now, and I'm just starting to get my way around just on the computer alone, you know, let alone any videos, the video camera, you know, and all of that, and how to post it, and, you know, all of this I'm clueless to, but I'm going to learn really fast.
Well, and much like we said, we all started somewhere.
That's right. Well, I tell you, everybody knows Howard. He knows how to preserve that history, and
absolutely nobody can argue that.
No, and not at all, man. I'd love to get with you and hunt with you, Howard.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. You know, and I got to say, you know, the feeling is mutual. I would love to go hunting with you guys, you know. And what I really like about what Frank had pointed out was how important it is to recover what's out there to be found.
Right.
And, you know, because what's I clearly understand that I have a much higher emotional involvement with those of the past and what remains in slumber in the ground, having yet to be invoked.
Right.
Not provoked, but invoked in a very gracious way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Whenever I go to an ancient colonial site that I know that with an exception of a handful of hunters that maybe had crossed over in a deep snow, vaguely would recall the site at all. Other than that, no one else, you know, had come across the place. I'm talking like, you know, just completely virgin, untouched from anything that hadn't been dug on the ground, with an exception of maybe a squirrel after a nut.
Right.
Okay? Right. And whenever I go to a site, such, you know, a pristine site as that, I will literally stop at the open stone gateway and enter that landlocked with empathy, compassion, and respect at heart and my mind.
You know, Howard, you say that, and you go back, and you know, when you get to places like that, you vision yourself of who back then, when the place was occupied, of the folks that came in and out of that gate, and what their story was and what they were all about. And, you know, you can kind of piece a little bit of that together by the history that you pull out of there.
That's right.
And that's you're painting a picture of what went on in that particular spot. And it's just that it doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And what I really wanted to get across before I hang up is, I have a metaphor that I use whenever I walk on such pristine, intact sites, such as I described. I consider it practically, you know, sacred ground, really. Those very grounds within the immediate yard or the radius within that foundation site is very much like a pool of perfectly mirrored still water. And whenever you take a monogrammed ring, something iconic as that, a monogrammed ring or a bracelet that has been slumbering in the ground for maybe just shy of 200 years, when you take that out of the ground, you send out ripples.
Absolutely.
Like water.
You know,
and those ripples, those ripples go to that very thin veil between what we cannot see and what we can.
Right.
You understand that?
Very true.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny that you're talking about it in this way, because this is the kind of message I've tried to do in my videos. And
yes.
And I was talking about this with Tom Williams and NC, and we decided to have a club. We're calling it the 4R Club. And
the what club?
The 4R Club. And
the 4 R's. Oh,
yes.
Wow! No, this is good.
The 4 R's are as follows: research the history, respect the history, recover the history, and return the history.
Oh man, love it. That is an excellent prime directive. Yes.
Yes, and we're excited about it. For us, it brings metal detecting. It's not like you're
totally
giving something.
Level. Yep.
It's a completely different level, because when you can say, I'm going out to metal detect not to make a profit, but to maybe help somebody, it's completely different after that. It really
is. It is. And you know what? You become the detective.
Yes.
I mean, you become the detective.
You do
to figure the site out or the camp out, depending on depending on what your niche is or where you hunt. Because when I go into a camp, for example, by the things that I look for, and in digging, I try to put the camp together, try to put a whole big picture on that camp. So you become a detective of history.
And and it's funny, Kenny, because every site you go to, when you go in that perspective, it's like you're creating your own novel. The more you uncover things in that site.
Exactly. You're helping to document the story that's being written.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. See, now you, in doing this, you clearly understand yourself as a representative. You are a representative.
Of sorts.
Yes. An ambassador of sorts, or a representative of those unseen.
Yes.
Absolutely. And along with that, become a steward of the ground you're hunting on.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And
we are the ones telling that tale, or helping to tell the tale of the past. Right.
You got it. Mm-hmm. You're putting out their testimonies to those who have been shunned for 200 years.
Long.
My grandfather.
And if you stop and think about that, that's just mind blowing. Because these people from the past are actually speaking.
Us and the finds that we make.
Exactly.
Yes,
oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
My grandfather told me something a long time ago. I've never forgotten it. And he said, you know what? No matter what you have, everything you own or will own eventually will go back to the earth.
Yeah.
And if you think about that, it's very true.
Yes, it is.
So, when you find these relics, and they're very, very old relics, and who owned that, who was on that site possibly. It's a really fulfilling emotion when you realize what you have in your hand and who might have held it last.
Right. And what gets me is, like, for myself, if I love finding everything like everybody does, but when I pull out a carved bullet, for example, I have one here. Well, I have more than one, but this particular one is the guy sat there. He made a design out of the bullet and he put a cross on it. Well, right off the bat, it tells you what he's about.
Right.
And so, then you envision, because right where I find that, there's a tent stake. So, okay. And then there's some pulled bullets. All right. So he's pulling bullets right next to his tent. And, he's thinking of home, thinking of his church maybe. He's got this bullet where he took time. Now he's either waiting on orders or they're in downtime. You don't know if he's chewing on leftover crushed corn kernels or if he actually has a cow bone. You don't know what shape the guy's in.
Right.
But whatever it is, he's taking that time to do what's on his mind. He's putting a cross on that, and then he drops it. And then 153 years later, I come around, I pick that up, and that just blows me away.
Exactly. 2508, you're on the air. Who do we have?
Hello, who's this?
You're on Beyond Sight and Sound with Josh Kimmel, Kenny Moore, Frank Partica, and Howard Hewitt.
Hey, James Wise, Northern Michigan.
Hey, another Michigan hunter.
All right.
Oh, yeah. A traveler.
There you go.
Okay.
I never figured out how to listen in on these radio shows, so I seen the phone number, figured I'd call it once.
There you go. Well, you know, you got to start somewhere, and so you just give it a shot. You got any questions for Frank?
So what's the topic tonight?
We're just talking shop. Frank had discussed how he had got into the hobby and how it's changed his perspective of things.
Sure. Yeah, I've been living the life digging since I was a little kid.
Nice.
And my last hunt, I was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. There was hunted with Francis Stutes, and I searched with Bo. We met. I don't know if I'm sure you guys know Bo.
I chat with him from time to time.
He's pretty good at what he does.
Yes, he is.
Found I think he found like 25, 30 bullets that day.
Wow.
So.
And that was probably just in the first 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, well, he did good that day.
Very nice.
We'll be down there again in the spring. Our friend Francis seems to have some really, really phenomenal property right within a couple miles of downtown Fredericksburg. It's about 400 acres of private land.
Wow.
So we do that a couple times a year.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I tell you, it's a 12-hour drive to go dig bullets, but it's fun.
Now, is he near where you are, Frank?
He said he was northern, upper north. Were you? Whereabouts are you in Michigan?
I'm in northern Michigan. I'm like 50 miles south of the Mackinac Bridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're way up there. I'm near the Ann Arbor area, so I'm about.
Ann Arbor?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm about 300 miles away from you.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in a town called Charlevoix.
Yeah.
Charlevoix, Petoskey, Traverse City area. 50
Right.
miles south of the Mackinac Bridge.
Right.
Oh, looks like we've got another caller coming through here. 6965, you're on the air. Who do we have?
Hey, how you doing tonight? It's NC Digger.
NC Digger,
well,
how's it
Brother
going,
Tom.
brother?
How
you
are
guys doing?
you, Tom?
How you guys doing tonight?
We're
All
doing
right.
good, man. Hey, I
Yeah,
love your videos and your love for the hobby, brother.
Y'all taking care of my buddy Frank there?
Yes, sir.
That's my little brother. Don't you pick on him now.
We wouldn't do that to Frank. Come on, man.
Okay. I think you could probably handle himself.
Yeah, he's liable to start throwing some ghost peppers around or something. We'll get two out of
Oh,
him.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Him and them ghost peppers. I couldn't believe he ate one today. And then drank. Did you see the comment I made, Frank?
Yes, I did.
I wanted to know if that was prescription Miller Lite or over the counter.
Nice.
To wash that pepper down with. So, Frank, when are you going to go find the train for us, man?
Actually, I'm trying to schedule that within the next 3 weeks.
Have you told the guys about it?
Which guys? The people at the Historical Society?
No, the guys that you're sitting here talking to right now.
Oh, I've talked about it with Bob
Okay.
And Ohio Wolverine, Red Beam.
Okay.
And of course we talk all the time. So.
Oh yeah.
You know, I wanted to do it a little earlier, but I had to try to secure for the reasons why.
I know.
In the town, so that was kind of top priority for me.
Yeah, you kind of run through a rough spot there, but you made it through it fine. You came out on the right side, and that was what it was the way it was supposed to be. Good people always wind up on the right side.
That's right, man.
You just you can't let one thing, ruin why you do it,
No. And most of the time it's best just to walk away from whatever the problem is.
Exactly.
There you go.
Sometimes you have to meet it head on, but 9 times out of 10, walking away is the best way to handle it.
Right. I agree. And for that situation, it was.
Oh, well, with that situation, you were about 5 minutes away from a garbage man suit with a number on it. I saw the fire in your eyes, dude.
You know me too well.
Yeah, I was on the phone with him at the time. He wasn't
I was
real happy.
talking to Josh when it all went down.
Yeah, he called me after it went down. He said, I just got off the phone with Josh. And he went off on me about it. I was like, holy crap. Wow. Frank, lock the doors, leave.
Right.
So that was a weird situation anyway. It's just, you run across people like that and they have no scruples and they really put a black mark on our hobby. And
yes, they do.
They really do, and it perturbs you, but there's really very little you can do about it.
Well,
right.
There is very little. I guess the only thing you can do is try to just make sure you have a real positive message, and that outshines jerks like that.
Yeah, you just basically spread the word in your community what you are about, and then they can actually see what the other people are about.
Right. Well, you gotta lead by example for one.
Yes.
That's it.
That's right. You gotta get out there and lead by example, and do your thing, have your code of ethics, and hopefully somebody will catch on.
That is the bottom line. It's just like Frank says, every relic. Say it, Frank.
Tells a story.
Yep.
Tells a story.
Yeah.
The skeleton key, the button that you find, the Hot Wheel car, the little boy
lantern,
that dropped
that lantern base.
Look, the little boy that dropped that Jeep that Frank found. He cried all the way home that day because he couldn't find his Jeep.
You bet.
And Frank picked it up.
That's right.
Imagine if you could find that grown man today that dropped that Jeep as a little boy and you could put it back in his hand.
I know.
Wouldn't that be something, man?
I would love to be able to do that.
It would feel so good to do that. That's what I love about this hobby is giving back,
Right.
Absolutely.
I love it. It's just so, it's almost spiritual. It really is. It is almost a spiritual feeling when you do that. You see the look on that 85-year-old lady's face when you pick up a suspender clip from her back field and carry it up to the house and go, well, I found this suspender clip. This may have belonged to your husband.
Right.
And she looks at it and she goes, he used to wear suspenders just like that. That might be one of his.
Right.
And you tell her to keep it. You tell her to keep it, and she's holding a piece of something that was her husband's when he was a young, viable, strong man taking care of the family.
That's when things come full circle. I was hunting a field, kind of the same scenario, and I found this old pocket knife.
Yeah.
And I had found some bullets and stuff like that, but I had this old pocket knife, and I knew it was obviously post-war, but still, it was pocket knife. And when I showed the owners what I had found, they immediately knew where that pocket knife came from. And I was happy just to hand it over to them. And you walk out of there like, well, man, that just made the whole trip.
Yeah, I mean, if you found nothing else, to find the happiness that you gave those people. That was what it was all about.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean, that's why I do what I do, and I know that's why Frank does what he does. And that's the whole premise behind the 4 R's that we are trying to get together, you know?
Exactly.
It's like a code. It's like a code of ethics. And, you know, if more people will get behind it and live by it, you'll have a whole lot less trouble getting permission. That's for sure.
That's true.
It is true, and you know what? It's talking about it like you're doing right now on, you know, for example, this particular metal detecting show, and there's others that is good for this hobby. When you can talk about this stuff, and somebody may be new to the hobby and they ain't got it figured out yet, or you know,
Right.
you know, if you could get somebody, well, I could sell this for, well, wait a minute, I don't want to sell it. This is history. I either want to display it or try to find who owned it.
Right.
That's the big thing about it.
Exactly. I mean, like on my YouTube channel, I've got almost 2,000 subscribers now, and about 2 or 3 times a week, I'll get a private message from some new detectorist that has gone outside with his detector, and he turns his machine on, and all he's getting are noises. And he's like, well, what am I doing wrong? I said, well, you know, have you ground balanced it? What's that?
Right.
Right.
We're joined also by Kevin Strahan and 5408. Hang in there, Kevin. 5408. Who do we have?
This is Mike Boyle's first-time caller and live listener. I usually listen to you guys on the following day of the show.
Well, welcome, Mike.
Right.
Thank you. Just listening in on what your guys' conversation is and stuff like that, it's very much where I'm at. I've only been detecting for just a little over 2 years now, and I'm living here in Southwest Florida, so I got the options of the beach and coins and everything else, but when you get that first relic, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah. When you find that first relic and you realize what it is, you identify it. You know, I don't know, it's a different kind of thrill. It's like you're hooked. You're hooked on finding relics.
That's right.
You are literally holding a piece of history in your hand, and you know you are.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, and it's a whole different ball game. It's just like you were talking about the bullet earlier with the cross on it. You know,
Right.
that was a personal item.
Exactly.
From history. That guy cherished that bullet. You know he did.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then he dropped it.
My first relic was just a few weeks ago. I went camping with my youngest son because he's in the Cub Scouts, and the campgrounds has been established pretty much since the Boy Scouts established here in the United States back in the 20s. And I actually ended up finding a 1920s Boy Scouts neckerchief slide.
That's awesome.
wow.
Nice. What was the design on that?
That's
That
very
was just
nice.
a standard copper rope metal
Nice.
Yeah,
Good find.
yeah.
slide.
Good find.
Yeah, but it's just
That's
like
right.
Digger's saying earlier, you know, where is the individual that wore that?
That's
you know?
right.
Exactly.
Awesome. That is a very nice find. Congratulations, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've gotten to go to the beach and stuff like that, and I'm only swinging the Bounty Hunter Quicksilver, so I can't really get into the wet sand or down into the water, but
You're
just
still
finding
out
that
there
relic
finding.
yep. Because later on that trip, I also found a 1960s slide.
It doesn't matter if you're swinging a $100 detector or a $10,000 detector. It's the passion that's behind it.
It is the passion, the ethics, and you know what? You still have to swing the coil over the target.
That's exactly right. You gotta dig a hole.
And you got to cover it back up.
Right. Yep. Well, we certainly
yeah,
appreciate the call, Mike, and we hope you're enjoying the show.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You guys have a good night.
You
All right,
too.
thanks for
You
calling,
too.
man.
All right, Kevin, KS Hollywood, Mr. Strahan.
How are you guys doing tonight?
How you doing, KS Hollywood?
I'm doing good. I just, I was going to let y'all know if you want to get any kind of instructions on doing videos, watch the Hoover Boys. I believe the guy's name's Kurt. He does some pretty good videos. Nothing spectacular. He doesn't go into big production. He just does a lot of simple things you can do to make a good video.
Right.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to him on YouTube.
Yeah, me as well. Actually, Kurt and I will. I'll make a comment on one of his videos. He'll make a comment on mine. Yeah, he's just a good guy.
Yeah, I'm also friends with him on Facebook too.
Yeah, he keeps up with comments. He will definitely, if you leave a comment on one of his videos, he will go watch one of yours and leave a comment every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
awesome.
But I'll have to go check that out. I don't believe I'm familiar with him.
Well, he's a really good guy. You should go check him out. You really should check him out. He's a good guy.
I will do that.
Yeah.
I took a coin shooter hunting last weekend for relics, and he's like, I don't see why y'all have a big deal about this. It's, coins is the way to go. A couple hours later, he had to go. He had to make a short day of it. He goes, I found this. He found a 69 caliber musket ball. And we told him what it was, and he's like, really? Literally 10 minutes later, after we couldn't get him to stop talking, he's like, man, I see what y'all are talking about now. The last time this was touched, it's 150 years ago. I wonder what happened. I wonder if he dropped it. All of a sudden now he wants to relic hunt. He don't care about coins anymore.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes is one relic.
Yeah, one find to change your perspective.
Three words. Dig it all, man. I like
right.
digging it all, whether it's the history of the coin. It just doesn't matter. It's in there. It needs to come out.
Yep.
Okay. Kevin, I'm going to go ahead and drop you off. And Kenny, do you happen to have a paper handy?
Yes, I do.
If y'all would like to, I can step out too and let y'all finish up with Frank.
Well, actually, while Kenny's getting that piece of paper ready, I'm going to clear the lines because we have a little activity to do.
Okay.
Who wants to win a detector? A Minelab Go Find 40.
Oh, wow.
With a waterproof 10-inch coil, I may add.
That's right. Now that's waterproof to 2 feet. So we want to keep that in mind. I'm dropping calls right now until we're ready. Once I get the word from you, Kenny, that we're ready, we'll roll with this.
All right. Well, let's do it. I'll do the best I can. I just want to get it right. That's the most important thing.
And we'll try to handle these calls. Folks, while we're doing that, by all means, if you're enjoying the show, like, rate the channel. Drop into Treasure Hunter Supply on Facebook. Give them a like. Check out the Beyond Sight and Sound domain. Okay, here we go. Caller number 1 is Mr. Kevin Strahan.
Yeah.
You got that one, Kenny?
Got it.
Okay, let's see. Who do we have here next? 0890. Who do we have?
This is Justin again.
Justin in Michigan, I believe? Mississippi. That's right, Miss Lou.
Miss Lou.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we got him, Kenny?
Got it.
Okay. Let's see. Here comes another one. And we're looking for 20 callers. 0025. Who do we have?
This is Galen Long.
Galen Long.
Galen.
Is number 3?
That would be correct, man.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for the call, Galen. Okay. Let's see here. We have 8641. Who do we have?
Hello, this is Drew Funk.
Drew Funk?
Yes.
Okay.
Drew Funk. All right.
That's caller number 4?
It is. We're ready for number 5.
We're ready for number 5. Woo! Okay. We have 7793.
Hey guys, this is Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter.
All right,
Mr.
Ohio
Bill.
Relic Hunter. He makes number 5, I believe.
That's correct.
Okay. Let's see here. We have 6965.
Tom, NC Digger.
All right. NC Digger is in. Has caller number...
Number 6.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good deal. So now we're going for 7?
Yes, sir.
Okay, number 7. Looks like we've got Super Drew in the house.
Super
That's correct.
Drew.
It's Super Drew.
It's
All
Super
right.
Drew.
Thanks for the call, Drew. Drew
All right.
is caller number 7.
That he is, brother.
Okay. Caller number 8 is 5255. Who do we have?
Yeah, this is Lee from Virginia.
What was that again?
This is Lee from Virginia.
Lee from Virginia.
Yes, sir. Great show.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank
You have a
you.
good evening.
You too.
You too.
Lee from Virginia was caller number 8.
Okay, caller number 9, 4371.
Hi, this is Justin from Kalamazoo.
Justin from Kalamazoo.
Right, Mr. Justin.
Thanks for the call. Okay. Number 10, is it we're looking for?
Correct.
Rob.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Rob, detecting hidden places is caller number 10.
Yeehaw.
Thanks for the call, Rob.
All right.
Okay. Let's see, 5501. Who do we have?
So, Tommy Decker from Chicago.
Tommy Decker, what's
Tommy
happening,
Decker.
brother?
Now, Tommy makes caller 11.
Yes, he does.
Thanks for the call, Tommy. Okay, number 12 is 7981.
Hey, how you doing?
Who do we have?
Good.
This is Brian Bonus from Connecticut.
Brian from Connecticut.
Yeah.
And he is caller number what?
Number 12.
Number 12. Thanks for the call. Okay. 3354. Who do we have?
You have Scott in Fort Myers, Florida.
Scott in Fort Myers, brother. How's the weather?
Oh, man, it's been beautiful, let me tell you. And great show tonight, guys. Great show.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're up to, who's the next one?
We need number 14.
All right. Looks like we've got Home Finder in, has number 14.
Home Finder. All right.
What, who, me?
Yep, you're number 14. Thanks for the call.
That guy again. Number 14. All right. Waiting for number 15, Mr. Josh.
Okay. 0055.
Gary Heckman.
Okay. Gary is 15.
Yeah.
Great show.
All right. Thanks for the call. Number 16. Looks like we have... Hello, caller.
Chris Engel.
All
Brother,
right.
brother Chris, how you doing,
Chris
brother?
is number 16.
Pretty good, Brother Kenny. Brother
All
Josh.
right.
Awesome. Thanks for
Thanks
the
for
call.
calling, brother.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.
We'll see you. Okay, number 17. 0148.
Hi, this is Valerie Smiley.
Valerie Smiley.
Yes.
Thank you.
show.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank
the call
you.
and thanks for listening.
Left.
Uh-oh, we're running out of room. 1819.
Hey, guys, Greg at Past Pursuits.
What was that last name?
Past Pursuits?
Oh, Past Pursuit. Oh, hey,
Yes,
from YouTube.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
How's it going,
Good
man?
show tonight.
Thank you.
Doing good.
Well, thank you. And great. Let's see. Past Pursuits makes 18.
It does. He does.
Okay. There we go with 19. 4825. Who do we have?
Yeah, this is Gary Haynes from Pennsylvania.
Okay. Gary
Hey,
Haynes.
great show tonight, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Last caller then, correct?
This is it. Drum roll.
Woohoo. Okay, let's see. 3620. Who do we have?
This is John DeVille, LA Gold.
All right. Thanks
Man,
for the call.
it was tough to get in there.
Right. Thanks for the call, John.
And that's that. That's
okay.
Two crew members got in there.
Right. We had 20 callers. Whoo, man. And folks, if you are enjoying the show, rate the channel, give Treasure Hunters Supply a like while you're at it if you haven't already.
Yes, please do that.
This contest is courtesy of them and Beyond Sight and Sound. One thing I would like to point out before we draw. I see Galen is in the chat. Our good buddy Hayden is in the chat.
Yes.
Hayden has already said that, he would like to see Galen win. And for those of us that run a higher-end machine, chances are good this may not be your primary machine. It would be very cool to see it go to someone who really needs one. But what you choose to do with it is entirely up to you. And we congratulate everyone and wish them all good luck.
Absolutely. Good luck.
Shall we bring up random.org?
I would bring it up, man. You missed the old spin barrels with the tickets in it, where you can just spin that sucker around. But we'll go ahead and go high tech.
Right. Okay, we have generated a number.
Uh-oh.
Whew. Okay, let's see what happens here. The number generated is 5.
Well, I'm going to have to announce the winner of the new machine, the Minelab. Go Find 40 is Ohio Relic Hunter, Mr. Bill. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Man, Bill, that is something else. Congratulations to you, sir. I'm sure we're getting a nice rating out of him tonight.
That's correct. That's correct. Congratulations, Mr. Bill.
Bill, I know you're on my Facebook friends list. Just PM me your shipping address one more time, and I will be in contact with you about that. Wow, that is
that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Who do we have here? 7793.
Hey guys, it's Bill, Ohio Relic Hunter.
Well,
hey, congratulations, buddy.
Man, that's awesome. I was standing up on top of my computer desk when I heard number 5.
Yeah.
But the good news is it's going to a good home. My nephew is in desperate need of a detector.
That's all.
That is great.
He's got a couple of years of experience, but has hit some hard times, and I miss going out with him. So,
that's outstanding. That is outstanding, and that's what this hobby's about. I've seen it personally, over and over again. Just how everybody helps one another. Brand new detector, man, that is outstanding.
Here's what I'd like to do in light of that. If you could, when you receive it, and you present this to your nephew, could you get a video clip or a picture?
Yep, I'm one step ahead of you. Got it all planned out.
All right.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
That is great.
And you know what? While we're at it, you know, this show is going places. It's going a long way, and it's going because of you great listeners such as Bill and everyone else. And we're taking this thing to another level with the sponsors and stuff. And it feels good to be able to help the listeners out and have something to look forward to, man. I love this show, man. I was a listener on this show and got invited to talk on this show, and here I am, a co-host on this show. And
a good one.
You know what? I appreciate that, but you know what? Josh, thanks for the good times, man. Thanks for asking me. I love watching this stuff. I like seeing people, you know, light up over this hobby. This hobby is awesome.
Right. And, you know, we're very fortunate to have the people that we do listening to the show. And by all means, it's the likes, it's the ratings, you know, it's showing the support for people like Treasure Hunter Supply that keep these contests and stuff going.
And you know, we got Howard called in, we got NC Digger with his insight on things, and of course our guest Frank. I mean, it's just outstanding, you know, that we can continue to just do this every week. We're blessed to do it. But you know what, guys? Just like we said earlier, Treasure Hunter Supply. Give them a shout. They've got Garrett carrots.
In stock, ready to ship.
In stock, yeah. It's hard to find them anymore. I mean,
we're not talking. You got to wait for them to call a distributor. They're in stock, ready to roll.
Well, I've got mine. I love it, man. I mean, it is on fire.
And that's the big thing, you know. We got to make sure they know people are hearing about them. So by all means, like, rate the show, give Treasure Hunter Supply a like on Facebook. Give them a call. Let them know you heard about them here. Share that love, because that's what will help continue the progression that we're working towards now.
Right. Now, I tell you what, you know, I look here, we got Mr. Joe Angel, obviously, here chatting. We've got, of course, Grandma's, Tam's always here. Rob, Ed Coster just come in here. Super Drew. It is just amazing to see everybody in here chatting and having a good time. And we have great guests in the future. We have a lot of stuff coming up. I'll be doing the show from on location in different spots here coming up where I'm going to be hunting. That's going to be interesting and fun. But man, Bill, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Well, like I said, my nephew's gonna just flip out, so I'm not going to tell him right off. I'm going to wait till it arrives and go up there and surprise him with it. So.
Right. Give us a few days to arrange that. I've got to get in contact with Mr. Joe that's in the chat. He has been a very big part of this, and we appreciate the support, as well as the support from the listeners. Thanks for the call, Bill.
Joe. I've actually got a chance to hunt with Joe here last year, so.
Awesome.
Bill, you should bury it.
Hey, appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
I was going to say, Bill should bury that and have his nephew find it with his detector.
Oh my goodness, that's
yeah. There
that's
you go.
good.
Tape a couple of Barber halves on the box or something.
Yeah.
Man, that would be a find. Whew, I'd flip out.
Yeah, could you imagine the look on his face?
Right.
Wow. Man.
Okay, so, I mean, I didn't mean to kind of take away from you there, Frank, but we did have to get that drawing out of the way.
Hey, that's more important than me, man. You know, you're helping another brother out, you know? So.
Right. And, man, that was big. I think we tackled it like troopers, though. We were champs with it.
Absolutely.
And, you know, once again, big, huge shout out to Treasure Hunter Supply.
Absolutely, man.
Now,
Minelab, go find 40.
That's right, our new friends there. Plus, you know, Minelab does make some nice machines. Frank, you had how long were you into this, or when, after you got in a sense, did you see your perspective start to change or notice it changing? And is that the point that you reached out to your local historical society? Because I think that's still a good point that we should cover.
Yeah. When it started to change was when I first started practicing. I was going to where everyone would go. First, I didn't want to ask for permissions. I didn't want to destroy anybody's lawn if I didn't know how to work the machine well, you know?
Right.
So I just went to local parks, and that probably wasn't the best idea because they're the most garbage-ridden that you can, you know, pull tab after foil. But once I got really comfortable with the machine, that's when I got my first permission. And that was the oldest mill that's actually been restored by a gentleman here. And he let me hunt the property. First permission I asked for, and I got a yeah, go ahead, you know, whatever you can find. And I thought that was awesome. And I hunted it, and the only relic I found that had some significance was a hatchet head. But it was probably early 1900s, the style of it. So I showed the owner, and you could tell he wanted it, but he wanted me to offer it to him. And I told him, I said, you know, this really is more history for the house. Let me clean it up for you, and I'll bring it back.
Right.
And so
Nice.
I did. And the guy literally was just so tickled about that little hatchet head. That's when I knew. That's where everything started to change.
That makes
That
sense.
feel good moment.
Right. It's just, you just understand, you understand there's a, you know, you can just do a little bit, you can do more with the hobby than just find things. You actually can really make a difference in people's lives. You really can.
Right.
And that was part of his family's heritage. You could just tell in his face that he really was, you know, just thankful to have that one thing in his hand. You know, so
Nice.
it was a good feeling. It really was. And I tell people, any chance you can, just try doing it once and see if it changes you or not. And I guarantee
Exactly,
it.
and that's what I like to tell people too, is whether you come at it from the perspective of finders keepers, or like I like to say, finders keeping it real,
Right.
everyone should do it at least once, just
Mhm.
for the experience. That way you have something to base your judgment on.
Right.
After that, hey, to each their own. You've experienced it, you know how it makes you feel, and you can continue from there. But don't, I guess in a sense, don't just automatically place judgment on others because they do what they've done by returning that item.
Right. And, you know, once I began talking about this, I talked about this with some metal detectors, and some of them are like, you know, I spent a lot of money on my machine. I don't want to just give all my finds away or whatever, you know.
Right,
I invested a
absolutely,
lot-
I get that.
And I completely understand that. And really, that's not my message at all. My message is just basically, you know, we all have our own way of doing things when we metal detect. And if you really want to take it to a different level, you know, if you know, just do all the research of everything, and then you come full circle and return, you know, some of those items. It really is. It changes you, and it changes you for the better. It really does.
Right.
It's almost like you get gold fever with it. Once you get that feeling, you want to do it again, you know.
Exactly, it can be addictive.
Yeah.
And, let's face it, I mean, we get out there finding these items. You get one or two you give away here and there. We're still finding more stuff.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, stuff will always be in the ground.
Right. I mean, and like Kenny had said himself, there's more relics in the ground. There's more coins lost in the ground than you're going to be able to shake a stick at.
Right.
We're not going to, even with as many hunters as is out there, and our numbers are vast, we're not going to find it all.
No, and you can't take it all with you either. I think sometimes, and I honestly believe this. I think when you are doing this hobby and you get lost where it becomes a chore because all you want to do is find silver or gold, and it gets to where you have a bad day because you didn't find silver or gold.
Right, you're starting to lose focus.
That's when it's over.
That's when you got to hang up the machine for a while.
Right, because, and I mean a lot of the guys that hunt relics, like I do, the crew members and different ones, whether it's a bullet, whether it's a plate. Of course, anybody wants to find a plate. That's just logic.
Oh yeah.
But if it's a bullet, a plate, or something, it's all from that period of what I call
hallowed time.
It is very hallowed, and a lot of suffering going on, and a lot of the stuff that you find is just so important,
Right.
And Kenny can speak from experience too. He has been fortunate enough to find a few plates, and he has actually donated 2 that I can think of in recent times for very good causes.
Right.
See, that's awesome. That really is.
Well, I mean, I've said this story once, so I'll make it quick, but for the Jolie fundraiser, for example, I had dug a U.S. box plate very close to Shiloh. And the thing about it is, when you watch that video and, and she's battling this cancer, and this is Chicago Ron's niece, by the way, if you don't already know. And, I was like, what would that soldier do? I mean, that soldier wouldn't hesitate 1 second. Here, sweetie, right. I want you to have this. I could just hear it. So who am I? I mean, I already got my blessing when I pulled it out of the ground, admired it, photoed it, showed other people, put it on the video. It didn't hurt me at all to pass it on.
See, I look at that as things happen for a reason. I really believe that. Call it fate, call it whatever, but that soldier dropped that plate. You come along 150, 160 years later, you find it, and what do you do with it without even thinking about it?
Right.
It's just, I just don't believe things happen by chance.
Right.
See, that's a great story, and that's the kind of stuff, once you start giving, you want to do more.
Right. When you look at it from that angle, it truly can open your eyes and really put things in a totally different perspective.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And honestly, when you find that coin and you're not looking for it, that's when it becomes fun.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, much like we were talking before the show. You didn't go out and go, hey, I'm kind of bored with relics and coins today. I think I'm going to go find a dental impression.
That cracks me up. That was so funny. When I saw that, I was like, no way did he just find that. I was like, yeah, and that's exactly what I said to myself. I could hear him now. Hey, I'll be back. I'm going to go look for some dental impression. No, stuff like that just happens, and you have to think.
Right, and
now, I wonder how hot those were when they molded that.
And those are those moments in the hobby that we come to find that we really, truly appreciate the experiences. Those moments in time, because some of our best finds, and there's a lot of truth there. Many of our best finds, if you ask other hunters, we'll tell you, they came when we least expected it.
No doubt.
We didn't set out to say, hey, I'm digging a gold coin today, or, you know, I'm digging a belt plate today. We would like to, but we go along digging those signals, and we get a signal, and, okay, well, what's this? And we pop it out of the ground, and just, oh, wow.
Right. Yeah, it's like that arrowhead I found. You know, we were talking about that earlier. You know, just by chance, it was in the same hole. You know, it's, and that's again, that's where this hobby really becomes fun. You know, it just becomes fun because you never know what's going to turn up. You just don't know.
Right. Like Kenny has said many times, it's every time you cut that plug, it's like opening a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't know what you're going to get. Yeah, you can have a good estimation of what you're digging, but you never know until you get it out of the ground. So you just can't wait to unwrap it, so to speak.
Well, it's like when I was hunting with, sorry, Frank, when I was hunting with the Miss Lou Relic crew down in Vicksburg, and I was up on a mountaintop with Mr. Chris Engel. You know, I'm like, okay, I just know this is a bullet. You know, I've dug many bullets. I just know this is a bullet. So when I pulled it out, not only was it a bullet, it was a heated bullet stretched out to use as a pencil.
Yeah, that's neat.
So it just blew me away. I mean,
that's neat.
I probably will never find another one of those. And it had the finger marks where it actually bent, and it looked like on the end of it, it was used enough to where it still had the discoloration that looked like ink, where they dipped it into an ink thing to write with.
Wow!
And on the other end of it is the divot, the pit of the bottom of the bullet, and it's stretched out to about 3 inches long. It just blew me away.
That's a great find.
It is.
See, and that's what I think is, it's important for people who are just getting into this, that might be getting a little bit discouraged, because, you know, I think some of these videos, they tend to hurt new detectorists in a way, because all they see are the great finds. They don't see the tunnel impressions and stuff like that, you know. And they think, well, I'm going to get a metal detector and I'm going to go find a gold ring today. You know, they don't realize that you're going to dig 300 pull tabs before you find that ring.
I call it paying your dues.
Exactly, paying the tuition. Because I can tell you, I have dug, and I don't want to even admit the number on air, but I have dug a ton of pull tabs to hit that gold ring.
Oh, you and everybody else.
See, for me, and that's where, you know, being someone who hasn't found all these things. I mean, I don't look for that, so I'm looking for relics. So if I find anything like that, you know, that's going to be a huge throw for me, because it's the last thing I'm looking for.
Right. It's the least expected.
Exactly, and that's kind of the fun part about, you know, doing relics, because you never know what's going to turn up.
No.
Absolutely. I agree. It does look like we have, we're getting near the end of our rope here, guys.
The clock is run short.
Frank, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us. Is there anything else you'd like to add to it real quick? Maybe some encouragement or advice to newcomers? Where to find you on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah, let me interrupt. One quick thing. Pass Pursuits wants to know, Frank, how many hours a week do you dig?
I work 4 days a week, 10-hour shifts. So you mix sleep, eating, and taking care of the house, because you got to do the honey-do list. I try to put in a week, if I have 2 days off, I'll try to put in at least 18 hours if I can.
Nice.
If I have 3 days off, I'll try to stretch that to close to 30 if I can.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. Thanks for the question. Past pursuits are. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's anything I could say to people, don't give up, don't get discouraged. Learn from the videos. Don't be afraid to ask people that are on those videos. Don't be afraid to subscribe to them and ask them.
Reach out to them. Ask them your questions.
People want to, they want to talk to people who are subscribed to them. Because, it's a good feeling to know you're helping somebody or someone's interested in you. If there's anything I can say that's a little bit off topic, but it's something that I heard of recently, and this is part of the YouTube community, and what this metal detecting community has brought to me. I have met people from different genres, people that collect knives, and people that are bushcrafters, that are preppers, and coin roll hunters, and silver stackers. It's amazing what this community has become for me. And one of the people that I follow, his name is the Wheat Hunter. His name is Sean. His wife passed on Mother's Day, and it's put a real hurt in my heart for the man. And I'm sure he's not listening to this show, but maybe some people who are in the audience, if you can, try to send him just a PM, through either Facebook.
Keep him in your thoughts.
Just let him know you're thinking of him, and that would be great.
Okay. And obviously, they can find you on YouTube under Diggin' Freedom.
Yes, sir.
Swansea, do you have anything you'd like to add? My apologies for missing your call earlier.
Well, not a problem, Josh and Kenny. I just wanted to say, Frank, it's great to actually see you on the show. I've been looking forward to this. This is Swansea Searcher, in case you didn't realize it. I've been
I know you. Yeah. Pleasure, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. I just wanted to say what you did with your first found Indian head penny, giving it to Coinkeeper there, was an amazing thing there. You guys having a great relationship back and forth, and I know she said the same thing that you're kind of reiterating right now, the YouTube community between a lot of you guys. You've become friends. I mean, definite friends back and forth without ever meeting each other, and that's exactly what this hobby's all about.
It is. Right. It really is. And I say this over and over again. That really is the true reward of all this. It's everyone you meet along the way.
Right. I'm going to tell you the same thing, Frank, because I appreciate the private message you sent me the other day when we were talking about Mother's Day and stuff like that. That's one of the most heartwarming things somebody sent me in a long time, including outside my own family or inside of it. I appreciated the private message. It was a connection that you made with me personally, and I'll follow you forever.
Well, thank you, sir. But that came from the heart. I
appreciate that.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for the call, Swansea.
Well, Josh, man, it's been a great show.
Yes, it has. I think it's probably that time.
It is.
Folks, if you enjoyed the show, by all means, rate the channel, and remember our friends over at Treasure Hunters Supply. And keep an eye out for Swashbuckler Diggers. Dig it all. Don't forget, get that Garrett Carrot ordered if you're looking for it.
That's right, man. Got mine.
Awesome.
And guess what? It does not false.
Awesome. All right. We got a roll, I do believe, folks. Woohoo!